Community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Good morning, Vail. It is Tuesday, February 20th, and welcome into this edition of Good Morning Vail. We got a lot planned on the show. We've got the Executive Director, Cameron Morgan of the Vail Performing Arts Center coming in, and lots more. So grab a coffee, settle in. The first hour of Good Morning Vail starts right now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Good morning, Vail. Welcome into the TVA Weather Center on this Tuesday morning, starting out about 33 degrees at 8 a.m. and a high of 45. Pretty warm, but we do have a 40% chance of some snowfall today, but mostly overcast skies this Tuesday. Things warming up throughout the day, and later on in the afternoon, we're expecting some snow showers and even some more snow showers into the evening. Temperatures drop down to 36 degrees at 8 p.m. A pretty warm February day here in the high country. Looking into the I-70 corridor, brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports. Eagle looking at a high of 48 degrees today. Avon high of 47. Vail a high of 45. A little warm out there. Denver 65 degrees. Don't know what's going on. Is it February or April right now? Lots of chances of snow through the I-70 corridor today, so be careful if you're out there, especially later in the afternoon. Tonight, temperatures drop down to 27 degrees. With a 30% chance of snow and mostly cloudy skies and a sunset at 5:48 p.m. Some slight winds coming in from the south at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Into the rest of the week, more snow expected on Wednesday and Thursday. Warm temperatures still throughout the week and the weekend before mostly sunny skies return Friday, Saturday, and then leads into another cloudy day on Sunday. Pretty warm temperatures out there. Definitely want to layer up and be prepared if you're hitting the slopes for some sunny days, and definitely don't forget that sunscreen. Beaver Creek Snow Report, no new snow in the last 24 hours, but one in the last 2 days, bringing the season total to 187 inches, and that base depth's at 62 inches right now, so we are rocking and rolling. Beaver Creek's operating 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. right now with 25 lifts open, 162 trails, and we just jumped up to 98% open at Beaver Creek, which is great to see. Over at Vail, no new snow to report in the last 24 hours, but 1 inch in the last 2 days, bringing the season total to 202 inches and the base to 62 inches. And you know we're all about that base, no treble here. Vail operating 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. right now with 31 lifts open, 277 trails, and 99% of terrain. Some snow still hanging around out there from the last snowstorm and some more snow on the way here, Kim. So pretty exciting.
Yeah, very excited about it. I know we had some great powder this weekend, and so I'm hoping it continues because as much as I love the springtime, we're not ready for it.
It's February. You got to remind yourself it's February. Try to hold on here.
Right. I know. I walked outside this morning and I just couldn't believe how warm it was.
It's a warm morning. Yeah, they're throwing that rain word around for the next day or two, but no. we're not talking about.
We're doing our snow dance, not a rain dance.
It'll be cold enough. It'll be snow.
Well, exciting show today.
Yeah.
Happy Tuesday. Great to be on the couch with you again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've got a lot happening, so very excited about all of the content that we have today.
Yeah.
But
coming off President's Day.
Surprisingly, it was kind of a mellow President's Day weekend here.
Definitely up at Beaver Creek. It was pretty quiet.
It really was. I think I had a couple of runs to myself on Sunday, which is very rare, but I enjoyed it as a local, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's good. And then we got spring break rolling around the corner. So
we'll see how busy we get over the next few weeks and the next month here. But we've got a lot in store, so we'll be back with all of our content in this Tuesday morning edition right after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you on 92"? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on mountain perspectives and our new Spanish programming block coming this fall. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website at tv8vail.com.
For TV8 in Vail, I'm Avisha Scarborough at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater. We'll see you next time. Hi friends, welcome to a little behind the scenes. I'm Avisha Scarborough, and I'm so excited to be part of the team at TV8 in Vail. I love the outdoor lifestyle here, I love the arts and culture, and I love being part of this community. My show is called Vail Vibes with Avisha, where I tell you about all the amazing activities going on here in Vail and surrounding areas all year round.
Good morning, Vail.
With some fresh snow in the forecast and also some sunny skies, now might be a good time to wax up those skis and snowboards. So let's take a look at Kim and I in the kitchen waxing up her snowboard. Kim and I are back in the kitchen cooking up my specialty this morning. Not actually cooking, but we're gonna wax Kim's board for her today. Kim, how many days have you ridden this board?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I got it at the end of the season last season, so
Okay.
it's still pretty new, but just not new enough where the factory wax is still on it. So
Yeah.
very excited for you to show me your expertise in the kitchen.
Yeah, so the way the wax kind of works on a snowboard is you're actually melting the snow below you when you're snowboarding.
Oh, interesting.
So that wax kind of helps get a nice smooth glide on the kind of that layer of water you create, which is the science behind it. So it's important you wax your board probably every 2 weeks or so, depending how much you ride, but every 10 to 20 days you probably want a fresh wax. They come in different types. So for cold weather, there's a certain wax you use for when it's really cold. In the springtime, there's a different wax, a little bit warmer. So all sorts of science behind it. All the ingredients you need is an iron and some wax, okay?
So I have a question for you about the wax.
Yep.
So how do you know which wax would you need for like winter or spring if you're new?
Yeah, so they're pretty well labeled. One of the brands I really like is this Mountain Flow Eco Wax. It's this guy out of Carbondale, out of his garage that made this, and he designs the boxes so it says a temperature. So
Great.
it's like a certain temperature that you're looking for. But today we're going to use a little Birds of Prey wax. This was a nice little gift that the Birds of Prey races gave to some of us. So we got our iron nice and hot. All we're going to do is just kind of melt the wax onto the board here.
A 2-ingredient recipe. I'm a big fan of this.
This is my kind of recipe. So you can kind of go as much or as little as you like. If you do too much, you just scrape it off at the end. That's kind of the next step. I kind of like to just do a nice little half the board.
So you're just touching the wax to the iron,
That's
and it just melts in little droplets, and
That's
you're just blending it all over the base
That's
of the
right.
board.
So this is a pretty decent board. It's not super dry, but we're gonna get a nice layer of wax on it, kind of from the top to the bottom, from the nose to the tail, and we're just gonna kind of nice and evenly wax it in. The heat from the wax melts it again and kind of creates a nice little layer here. So this is a great activity to do late in the day.
Yeah.
Crack open a drink. You know, I usually like to do this for friends. You know, if you got that one friend in your group that you're always waiting on, you give them a fresh wax, and they're a little bit faster. So that's
Hey,
kind of
let me help you out.
That's kind of a trick here. So super simple, 2 ingredients. We're just gonna get the second half now. And yeah, I just waxed my own board a couple days ago, so I'm okay for at least a week here.
Now, as you're melting it, so you took the iron and the wax and you're melting it onto the board, and now you're kind of remelting it as you evenly distribute it.
That's right.
But the wax like dries very quickly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Does the heat, like, is it still hot? I mean, I'm not going to touch the other end because.
No, it's not super hot. You definitely want to be careful because we have a hot iron in our hands, so that's kind of the most dangerous thing, or you don't want to touch your fingers. As you can see, I'm holding the wax all the way on the iron, so that's where you want to be really careful you're not sticking your fingers on the iron. And this is just it's nothing special. This is just an iron you could iron your clothes with, right? So
Okay.
It's not anything crazy. You could get these at any of your local ski shops usually.
Could you get one maybe at Walmart even if
Probably,
you didn't have
yeah,
access to
for
it?
sure, for sure. And I've had this iron for 10 plus years, and it's just part of my kind of snowboarding equipment at this point. So I like to get the tail and the nose as well. I never know how much you're going to be buttering around and
Yeah.
keeping your nose and tail up in the air, but kind of give it one last look at those last couple ones that we might have missed. And we're just creating a nice little layer of wax here on the snowboard.
Well, it looks great, and you can just see it doesn't matter if it's super evenly distributed because you mentioned there's another step after this.
That's right, that's
Yeah.
right. So it's pretty straightforward. This is where we'd maybe crack another drink, give the wax a chance to settle here before we start scraping it. Some of the other tools that I like to use, we've got this kind of like rock edge. This is going to sharpen our edges for us, which is really important. We want sharp edges to grip the snow, right? So if you have kind of dull edges, it's harder to make those turns. This is a very similar kind of step-by-step process for the skis. Obviously, there's 2 of them, and there's more edges, so it's a little bit more work.
A little more time
As
consuming.
the snowboarders, it's pretty easy to just do this. So we have our edge tool, and then we also kind of have a little brush that I like to use. This kind of just creates grooves in the wax.
Okay.
So as you're snowboarding along, you kind of create even more gliding with it.
Okay.
So this is kind of not necessary, just something I like to use. And then our scraper, which we'll use to scrape the wax off.
Awesome.
So it's pretty straightforward.
Sure. So looking at the edging tool and the sharpening the edges. So you mentioned that you want to wax your board every 10 to 20 days. And I imagine you obviously kind of do them both simultaneously, but let's say you don't want to wax. How do you know when you need to sharpen your edges?
Yeah, I mean, it's a feel, right? We're also like carrying our boards around all the time, right? So we want to be careful with our edges, but if you're starting to feel it in your hand and it doesn't have that kind of sharpness to it anymore, you can feel it. And then also you can kind of look at it too. Sometimes you get a little bit of rust because it is water, right? So it'll kind of rust over, and you can kind of sharpen those up and get some of the rust off.
Awesome. Yeah,
that
I
makes
definitely
sense.
carry my board around with the glove, and if I can carry it without my glove on, then I know it's time.
Yeah, and there's tons of ski shops and snowboard shops that can help you with this, but this is a very easy thing to do, and it's a fun thing to do. It's kind of therapeutic for me, and you can just do it at home on a table. All you need is an outlet and an iron, and it's pretty fun and easy to do.
It makes you look like an expert to
And
your
it goes
friends
so
and family.
quickly. Yeah, exactly. And again, I love to I usually wax every one of my coworkers' boards before, so it's something I like to do. Because again, like if someone's having a hard time out there, this just makes it like a new board and it's more enjoyable, right?
It really is.
And they can keep up, right?
And renewed excitement on getting back out, and they can keep
Exactly,
up. I love that. That's
exactly. So
true.
while this dries, I'm going to go ahead and just start on the edges.
Okay.
This tool does have little arrows, so it kind of goes directional.
Okay.
You can get stuff like this all over, but really what it is just kind of like a stone that's going to sharpen our edges. I like to go from the nose to the tail,
Okay.
and just one way. So we're going to make sure we got it going the right way, and we're just going to kind of sharpen the edges here.
Now, is there like a method to the way that you sharpen it? You said nose to tail, so that's the start of it.
Yeah,
Do
really-
you go over it several times, or just
Yeah,
kind of how it
for
feels?
sure, for sure. I go over it a couple times. I usually try to go like nice and easy the first time through. And since we're on a box here, I'm gonna have to lift this one up.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to get just a couple kind of goes at it.
Okay.
And then I like to do like one long top to bottom.
So you do
If
a
we
little bit
can.
of a brushing and then smooth it all the way out.
Yeah, and you can kind of hear it, right? So the stone has kind of grooves on it, and that's really what's sharpening it.
So it's like a pumice stone for your board.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. And this is something you can kind of carry in your pocket. So if you have an old board and you're constantly having to sharpen your edges, this is just a small tool that you can carry with you or just kind of leave out and about.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this heel edge is a little rough here.
No, I love that we're doing this as an educational piece on our show, but I also am loving it because I'm getting a free wax and
Yeah.
sharpening and tuning on my board.
Yeah. Yeah, and so the next time you go out, with all this snow, we use kind of a cold weather wax. We got all these cold temperatures in the forecast, so definitely kind of want to use that cold one. And then it's tough and then as it heats up, you kind of want a different wax. So it's a little playing that game of what's the temperature, what's the wax I want to use. I usually have 2 to 3 waxes in my bag to use. And again, all we need is just something kind of to put in between our bindings, prop it up, and an outlet. And it's
Awesome.
pretty straightforward. So this is feeling pretty dry. You can feel it's still kind of warm, right?
Yeah, it is.
So I'm a weird brush guy. I do the brush before and after.
Okay.
We're about to scrape it off, so not all of it's going to stay. So that's why I like to do it before and after.
Okay.
But this is just a nice straight line, nothing crazy. You're not going to hurt your board doing this. If anything, you're going to help it. The only things to worry about are putting too much wax on.
Okay.
If there's too much wax, you're going to stick a little bit.
So if you can see it, that's probably too much wax.
Yeah, exactly. And it's okay too if you have a little bit of wax on your board, a little too much, because as you go down the mountain, it's going to come off.
Okay.
So sometimes what I like to do is I'll wax it and then I'll kind of pick a nice steep run and get some speed, and that'll kind of melt the excess wax that I have. So I'm going to scrape it as much as I can,
Okay.
and then all we're going to do is use our scraper tool,
Okay.
and we'll see how this works on this box, but we're just going to kind of push it down and see how that wax is starting to come up.
Yeah, looks great.
So we'll do that a couple times, get the wax off, edges are sharp, and we'll be ready to rock.
I'm ready to go straight on the mountain with you today.
Easy, yeah, and that.
all that snowfall and all of the waxing that we just did. Let's go.
And that's about 10 minutes or less, or you could let it sit for longer and take your time and make an evening of it, but it's pretty straightforward.
Sounds great. Well, it looks like Ross and I need to get out on the mountain for the rest of the show,
Yes.
even though we'll be here in studio. We'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
Thank you for watching Good Morning Vail. Have an amazing day. Get on out there, soak up that sunshine. We'll see you tomorrow right here for more Good Morning Vail. Bye, everyone. Hi, I'm Gretchen Bleshaw. You might recognize me from the Glitz and Glam with Gretchen. Maybe you hear my voice on the radio from time to time or see me out at a concert or two. I love concerts. If you see me out, the long mermaid hair, I'm almost 6 foot tall. It's hard to miss. Come and say hi, give me a high five, and make sure to watch me right here on TV8.
My name is Tyler Alvarez. I work here at Sweet Basil in Vail. I'm a bartender here. I originally came to Vail to snowboard. I slept on my sister and my cousin's couch for what was supposed to be a week, turned into 2 months, and then I found my own spot, and then kind of made friends and worked different places in the valley and kind of just fell in love with it more and more every single day, and ended up finding my way to Sweet Basil through some friends who had worked here and all the great things that I heard about it. And yeah, I've been here for 4 years now. It's hard to wake up in Vail and be upset when you look outside. It's just beautiful. My favorite part about working at Sweet Basil is definitely that I could be proud about everything that we're putting out, whether it's food, drinks. We also get to be really creative here. The bartenders, the whole team here, we workshop our menus every season, so we'll start with a spirit or an ingredient, and then we get to be really creative and make a whole project of it. And then when we get the final product, it's a drink that we're all really proud of for the whole menu, and that's super fun, just being able to be creative and work with new things. And the most fun cocktails to make, though, are definitely the ones that we get to create from scratch. When people take a sip and say, oh my God, this is delicious, or they just love it. And that's probably the most fun for me, the creativity behind it and making unique cocktails. That, for me, that would be the most fun drink to make, just the one that you start from scratch and then people are excited about. I'm Tyler, I live and work in Vail. Come see me at Sweet Basil.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back into the TVA Weather Center on this Tuesday morning. Starting out at about 33 degrees at 8 a.m. We'll reach a high of 45 degrees, a 40% chance of snow later on in the day. Overcast skies mostly today, but some warm temperatures, so be prepared for everything. Looking at the hourly temperatures and conditions, 33 degrees to start the day, mostly cloudy before hitting 41 degrees at noon and some snow showers starting to fall. 4 p.m. mostly cloudy, 40 degrees, 8 p.m. 36 degrees, and the snow returns into the evening. Into the I-70 corridor, brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports. Eagle looking at a warm day today, a high of 48 degrees and mostly cloudy skies. Avon high of 47 and mostly cloudy skies. And Vail a high of 45 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Over on the Front Range in Denver, a high of 65 degrees today. It is February, not too sure what's going on out there. Tonight, a low of 27 degrees and a 30% chance of snow with mostly cloudy skies. That sunset's coming in at about 5:48 p.m. It's getting later and later every day right now. Winds coming in from the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Into the rest of the week and the weekend, more snow expected on Wednesday and Thursday with some warm temperatures in the low 40s and upper 30s before the sun returns on Friday and Saturday. Those temperatures are quite high and quite low on Thursday and Friday, so definitely be prepared for a little bit of everything out there. Up next, we're going to check in with Kim, who got some physical therapy help to get her back out on the slopes feeling good.
It's Kimberly here, and I'm so excited because I'm with Dr. Palick, who has been giving me acoustic therapy, also known as sound wave TRT therapy. And it's been fun. My knee feels a lot better. We're, what, week two and a half?
I think 4 or 5 treatments in.
Yeah, we're about 4 or 5 treatments in. So you've seen the machine, but here it is in person. And then we're going to do some other things as well.
Yeah, we're going to do some shocking, some dry needling, and some adjustments.
Cool, awesome.
So
you get to see the full shebang.
In action, right? It's casual Thursday here, so we come in.
Man of the people, that's what I like to call Dr. Palick. Awesome, so just to kind of recap, we put this gel on it and it's a sound wave.
Yeah, so the gel helps the sound come from this gel through there into your 70% fluid. And when we shock you, we want mild discomfort and not extreme pain.
Okay.
So we're going to start you where you were last time.
Here
okay?
we go. I feel it. So it's kind of like a rubber band, as I mentioned, against my skin until you get into the really sensitive spots.
Some people say it feels like laser hair removal, if you've ever had it.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah.
It's almost like, like when you do the knee test, the reflex test. Yeah, I can feel that.
Well, people feel it penetrating because it goes 5 inches of penetration. So you'll feel it go through your whole knee.
I can feel it through my whole knee for sure. I feel it like on the top of my shin bone as well because it's connected to the joint.
We're shooting right in between your femur and your tibia. Right now where all your cartilage is, and right here we're getting some IT band and your lateral cruciate ligament.
Yeah, I can feel it for sure.
Do you want to go down?
No, let's keep going.
Keep going, okay.
I think this is helping because I know when we first started the treatment, it was, my knee was painful, and especially in the MCL where you are right now, to like lay on my side or sleep on my side, which is my preferred sleeping position. And now I can do it and extend my leg out. So
which is cool in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you know?
4 or 5 treatments, and it's great. So I can't wait to see what it's like. And even I'd say with getting out on the mountain too, I'm feeling a difference.
Good.
So right after this, I'm going out. So about how long does this typically, like when we're in studio or in studio?
About it's 5 to 10 minutes depending on the area. Yeah. Okay. So it's short and sweet and effective.
Short. Yeah. I would agree with that. I don't know if I'd call it sweet when you hit the sweet spots, but it's feeling good. Minor uncomfortable feeling just to feel better for the long haul.
Right.
And so what exactly does it do?
So it sends a sound wave in that smacks your bone and stimulates bone marrow to release stem cells and then increases circulation by about 300%.
Okay. And that's the truth. Whew. Let's feel it. I'm feeling it for sure. And then on top of this, you're doing a couple of other things as well to kind of just help stimulate long-term healing.
There we go.
Done.
How beautiful is that?
Looking good. And the gel isn't cold. It feels good.
Yeah, it's ultrasound gel, so it's just sterile.
No tingling feelings, nothing along those lines.
Nothing creepy.
Yeah.
All right, lay on your back now.
Got it.
So now we're going to do some dry needling to help release the muscles around your knee. And a lot of times when people have knee injuries, their spine and everything gets kind of out of whack because they're walking a little crooked or funny, so I'm going to give her an adjustment. So
hold on. You did this dry needling, and I don't love needles, but I couldn't even tell.
Yeah, I try to be slick about it, not painful about it.
What did you say last time? You're a ninja with a needle?
Yeah.
I would agree. I'm just not going to think about it.
And with you, we're not going to leave them in. We're just going to kind of go in and out and try to release some trigger points in there. Come right in the middle of your quad there.
Yeah, I don't really feel it. I mean, it's just a little pinch.
Yeah. And then here.
I think this is a great way for people that are interested in dry needling to see what it really is like.
And then it's not scary.
It's not scary.
I needle 5-year-old girls, so
oh, geez.
They're totally fine. It's the adults with the emotional components, right?
Right. So talk to me about dry needling. What exactly?
So it helps reset what's called the gain of the muscle. The gain of the muscle is like what your brain thinks normal tension is. So if you're if you've ever sat down too long, right, you're shortening all these muscles and you stand up. Well, your brain kind of thought that was neutral.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So when you have injuries, muscles kind of contract and stay there to protect the joint, and it helps kind of reset them immediately.
Awesome.
So, and now we're going to go head to toe.
Awesome.
Have you been adjusted before?
It's been a long time, but yeah.
Maybe we'll get the sounds, right? Not bad, right?
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Wow. Feel like a whole new person already.
Now we're gonna get the middle between your spine and then your lower back.
Okay.
And you should feel brand new.
Just in time to hit the slopes.
Coming in here. You felt that.
Yeah, I definitely needed that. Felt great.
And then on your side facing me.
Okay, rotating.
Yeah.
I want to crush my mic pack here.
Bend here. Okay. This is our last one for this hip. There we go.
That felt great. That was probably my favorite one.
Come on.
All right, cool.
All right.
That's it?
Yeah.
And that was a full appointment. So a whole, 10 minutes max?
Yeah.
Easy.
And it works.
And it works.
Yeah.
It's great. Well, I feel great. Dr. Palik, you're awesome. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
And I cannot wait to talk about the final round of treatment and see where we go.
Halfway there.
Halfway there. Awesome. Well, Dr. Palik Clinic, show up. It's great. He's awesome. Make an appointment if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll be back for more.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
TV8 te brinda la mejor programación en español todos los días. Sintoniza Conexión Latina los lunes, miércoles y viernes a las 7 de la tarde con repeticiones los fines de semana. Además, te presentamos nuestro nuevo programa Sabores y Creaciones, donde hemos juntado tus recetas y manualidades favoritas en un solo lugar los martes y jueves a las 7 de la tarde. Y por último, disfruta de Daily Flash Latino, con noticias y entretenimiento en tendencia los sábados a las 7 de la tarde. Te esperamos por el canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página de Facebook TV8 Conexión Latina, nuestro canal de YouTube TV8 Vail Good Morning Vail o nuestra página web tv8vail.com.
Well, Archer and I are going to get headed on further down the trail, but I hope you'll catch up with us a little bit later. Hi, I'm Ben Roof and I'm one of the new hosts here at TV8. I'm so excited to share all of my explorations throughout the Vail Valley with my dog Archer, where we'll be taking you to hiking trails, biking trails, maybe we'll go rafting, fishing, or whatever else we can come up with. I'm so excited to share all of that with you in my new segment, Outdoor Adventures. Don't forget to catch up with us every day right here at TV8 Vail or at tv8vail.com because there's always more for you on 92.
Do you have an interesting hobby or skill you'd like to share for Vail Valley? We want to hear from you. We're looking for people to share their musical, artistic, culinary, woodworking, athletic, or technical talents on Good Morning Vail. If you'd like to share your talents with the community, email Danielle at tv8vail.com. Join the community conversation. There's more for you on 92.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time to get on the mountain, and whether you're swapping out snowboards or just getting new bindings, we've got some tips and tricks to get your bindings set up on a new board.
We're in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
I think we're in your domain
Yeah.
when it comes to being in the kitchen today because we've got some snowboards in front of us and behind us.
Cooking up some binding swapping.
We are, and it's a good time, especially because we haven't really had much powder. So I have been riding my powder board, but I'm ready to switch back to my twin toe.
Yeah.
So what do I do? Show me how to do this, Ross. You seem to be the expert.
Easy. So yeah, it's definitely nice to have a quiver of boards, right? So you can use a powder board and a grooming board, warm weather board. So it's good to have like a quiver. All we're gonna do is we pop these up. We're just gonna take the 4 screws off.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of keep an eye on what you got them on.
So with the
On what kind of degree you want. So.
Okay, so you can adjust those, correct?
Exactly.
Usually I just take it into a tuning shop.
Yeah. So obviously, like, everyone's body is different. I don't think people realize that, like, when you snowboard, like, everyone's body is different, right? Males and females' bodies are different.
Yep.
So what we're looking for with these bindings is this is just a way that we create some twist and turn in our board.
Okay, cool.
So so it's okay to do it whatever feels kind of comfortable to you. Some people like it a little wider. Obviously, you can get into some trouble here if you kind of make your stance too narrow or too wide, right? So it's okay to kind of individualize it. I get kind of talked to every day. Someone sees my bindings, they're pretty kind of duck-footed out. But that's just how I like it. I like to kind of have a quick response. So all I have to do is kind of lift a toe up or kind of dig a toe in, and I get the reaction that I want from the board.
And it helps you to be a little bit more versatile, right?
For sure.
Directionally.
For sure. And I like to ride a little bit of switch, so I kind of have mine set up to go both ways, but a lot of people set it up directional, so it's just more made for one way. So it's totally fine. It's kind of what you're interested in. There kind of is a right and a wrong way, but then within that, there's kind of some parameters that you can't really go wrong.
So what would you define as a right and a wrong way?
Yeah, so like the right way is like we're looking for a balanced stance when we're snowboarding, right? Like a nice athletic stance. So if your bindings are set up a little too narrow or a little too open, and you can't find that nice athletic stance, then that's not what we're looking for.
So if you were, let's say you were renting, should you specify that you would like a wider stance, or is it more just kind of a factory settings?
No, I
grab the board and go.
Yeah, I think you can trust those ski shops out here. They're going to set you up for success. But what's nice too is like if a lot of people come out for a week or a weekend, and if the board feels a little off one day, you can always take it back into those shops and they can kind of readjust it for you, or ask your nice instructor up on the mountain to do it for you.
Or your co-host.
Or your co-host, right? Yeah, so it's pretty simple. It's similar to kind of the waxing. You can do this kind of at night. You can do it in the morning. I usually crack a nice beverage and take over my living room and kind of play with my board.
Or a nice cup of coffee.
Or a nice cup of coffee.
In the morning.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So yeah, so easy. Nothing too crazy.
That was easy to take off. And so the tricky part with bindings, and every binding brand and set is different, is they've got the foot pad that you've got to pull up.
Right.
And so we had to figure that out.
Right.
And then once you do that, you're home free.
Yeah, so what you kind of want to look for is, this looks like a twin, so it should be fine either way, but I'm going to bet that this is kind of the nose of your board here.
Okay.
Right? You
Yeah.
think so? This is the nose and this is the tail?
Yep.
So we just want to make sure we're putting the left foot on the nose of your board and the right foot on the tail, right?
That's exactly right.
Pretty straightforward. So we're just going to pick them up as they are, and you're a little bit shorter than me. So I would probably put mine.
5'9" without the cowboy boots.
Yeah, right, exactly. So they have, most snowboards use these kind of screw systems, so you could set it up anywhere in this kind of rail here.
Okay.
So if it's a little wide, you could bring it in.
So let's say if you didn't have a powder board and you were just riding one singular board, so on a powder day you could set them a little bit farther
Exactly,
back.
exactly. So especially a powder board, you kind of want your back foot as far back as it can go almost.
Okay.
So that way we're kind of leaning on that back foot or more pressure on the back foot.
It gives you a little less work to do.
A little less work to do, and that pressure on the back foot pops the nose of the board up. So in that powder, that's really important, right?
Awesome.
So we're keeping our nose of the board up and not getting stuck. Hopefully you have some skier friends that can help you out if you do need. But it's pretty straightforward.
Stick with the snowboard gang. Just kidding. I like skiers as well.
It's seriously just a joke. It's really more of a joke than anything.
I feel like the animosity between skiers and snowboarders is starting to dissipate.
Yeah, 100%.
Everybody's accepting, and if you love the snow sports period,
100%.
You're in the club together.
Now it's more like those snow bikes, right?
Yes,
We're looking at those guys a little funny, and the people on the snow skates, those kind of skateboards. We're looking at them a little funny. So.
I don't know about the snow skates. They kind of scare me a bit. Especially the little mini blades that look like roller blades. But
oh yeah, I
might try them one day.
Yeah.
How are they?
They're so much fun. Very terrifying. There's no surface area on those, so they're very difficult to stop.
If you're going down, you're going down.
You're going, yeah. So I mainly stick to the greens and a couple blues with those, but.
That's great.
But yeah, this is a nice athletic stance for you, a little open and.
So you mentioned you ride duck-footed. Do you switch your bindings at all when you're riding in powder?
No, I should. I really should. But I like to set my board up. I'm an all-mountain rider. I like to ride in trees. So mine's kind of set up for everything.
Cool.
And again, I like to ride switch, so I could really turn my board either way and it's going to perform the exact same way. So kind of depends what you're looking for. But yeah, some days I'm out there and pretty much every powder day I'm out there and I'm saying to myself, I'm going to set it back tonight. I'm going to set it back. I'm going to move it back.
And never do.
Get in the back foot a little bit and then I just never end up doing it. So can't really go wrong. What's really cool too is a lot of the lifts out there on our mountains have these kind of screwdriver tools that you need. So if it's a small little tweak, you can always stop by a lift while you're out there.
Awesome.
And kind of tighten things up or you could even change your whole setup if you needed to.
That's great.
A little more difficult with the conditions out there, but that looks pretty good. So that's a left foot binding.
Awesome.
We'll get the other one on for you.
Now, when I ride my twin tip, I actually like to do a little bit of a duck foot stance as well.
You do good,
I do.
yeah. So the trick is you never go over 30 degrees. So if your front foot's at, say, like 12 degrees, then you keep that back foot kind of within that 30-degree region, so like an 18. I wouldn't recommend an 18 and a 12. I do a 15 and a 15, which is a little much. But a lot of people really kind of like that 12 degree kind of angle, which you got here. So.
And if people don't quite understand, there's obviously the degree settings inside.
Yeah, exactly. So inside the binding has the degree setting here. So you're at about that looks like a 9 or a 6, depending on which way I'm looking at it. So that's pretty good. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, everyone's foot's kind of different, so it's kind of what you're comfortable with.
And you can, if you're doing this at home, you can take it off and kind of play with it and see
Yeah,
what you like.
highly recommend kind of standing in it. Put it on the carpet floor and stand in it and feel it out, see what it feels like. But yeah,
it's
this is
fun to watch people play with tools and make things work.
Yeah, so as a snowboard instructor up at Beaver Creek, I do this quite often with students, right? So they rent a board and something's a little off, so I'm always kind of touching bindings and getting them set up for success. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want.
It's true, and I have some friends that are learning how to snowboard, and they keep saying their feet are set up differently. So I tell them they just need to go adjust their bindings and try it and see what works for them. But really, I think it's just a matter of committing to the toe.
Definitely. And keep an eye out, especially in the spring. There's a lot of demo days, so you can kind of go test out a snowboard and some new bindings. And then if you really like them, then you go ahead and pull the trigger and you buy them. So that's kind of a pro tip on kind of getting gears to demo it first, right?
That's exactly right.
Feel it out. I've always wanted to demo those Burton step-on bindings.
I have my eye on them, but I demoed these bindings at the end of last season. So I'm committed to these for now.
And if you haven't gotten new bindings in a while, the technology is always progressing. So things are getting lighter, which is amazing. So it doesn't take as much force, right, to kind of make your board do what you want. It's a lot lighter and reacts a little bit quicker. So
awesome.
Binding technology, it's always changing. Like we mentioned, those step-ons are pretty impressive. So just like that, easy, pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
Nothing crazy. You can kind of click your foot back down that we had fun unlocking.
Awesome. Well, this looks like it's ready to go shred in this wintry
Yeah.
mix that we've got coming in this afternoon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Ross, thanks for educating me
Yeah.
on the best way to set up my bindings and how to do it. I appreciate that.
I love it. I love cooking snowboards in the kitchen with you.
I think that's our best recipe yet.
Yes, yes.
But we do have one more in the second hour, so stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
It's the fastest half hour in television. Toyota's Race Week takes you inside the high-speed world of NASCAR. Go behind the scenes for a look into the high adrenaline world of motorsports and hear from your favorite drivers as they discuss the drive to a championship. If you love NASCAR, you won't want to miss Toyota's Race Week.
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interests across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
When you're in Vail, you're in vacation mode, and you need a flexible home tour experience that fits into your schedule. We've transformed how you view and buy homes in the Vail Valley. With immersive, cutting-edge technology, you can explore properties 10 times faster. In our lounge, we guide you through this digital world on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the immersion theater.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Good morning, Vail.
The crock pot can be a cheat code in the kitchen. We have Tracy Miller with Colorful Cooking giving you a beautiful recipe with a crock pot.
It's chilly this morning. What's up? It's summertime here in the mountains, but the fruit and vegetables are so delicious. So today, what we're doing is the tri-tip. It was a big, like 5-pound tri-tip of steak. So we did that in the crock pot, but we're also going to do a corn and zucchini salad because this is the time that both corn and zucchini are plentiful and delicious. So I've already shucked my corn, and what I'm going to do is just put it in boiling water for about 5 minutes, maybe even a little bit less, because what happens when your veggies are super fresh like this, they do not take nearly as long to cook. So we're going to do a cold corn salad. So we just have this corn in boiling water, and we're just going to kind of rotate it around and let it cook for about 5 minutes. Meanwhile, we are going to make our salad, and this is going to be super easy. Zucchini, you can cook the zucchini if you want, just cut the tips off. And we have talked about different methods of chopping. So today what we're going to do is we are going to dice this up. So we're going to cut the zucchini into about 4 pieces. And I hope you remember by now, when you're working with these veggies, Look at that. You don't want that. You want it to be a nice flat surface. So what you do is you cut the zucchini in half and then cut it into 4 pieces. And then we are going to cut it into 3 pieces this way. And then we're going to just dice it really, really small. And this is going to be served raw. So you kind of want to dice it nice and small, maybe about the size of a corn cob, because we are going to be taking the corn right off of the cob. So you want to dice it kind of the size of a corn kernel. And then we're going to do the same with this one. And I've decided only to cook 2 corns today because we don't want to waste it here. But if you have a family of 4, you're doing 4 pieces of corn and you're also doing the whole zucchini. I'm just going to do half the zucchini today because we're doing a half a recipe right now. We're also going to add some fresh green onion to it. Of course, if you prefer the red onion, and a lot of people do, then go ahead and put a red onion in here. Just slice it really, really thin so that you don't get too strong of an onion bite in your salad. So here we go, just chopping that up. Don't forget your sharp knife and your nice, very stable cutting board, because you don't want everything to be sliding all around. And again, everything is so fresh in the summertime that it really just needs only a little bit of cooking. And a lot of people like to eat raw. And when you are eating raw, your stomach has to get prepared for it, but it's really healthy for you, because the more that you cook your vegetables, if you're overcooking them or something like that, the more nutrients they lose. So what happens is, right when you cut up your veggies, they start to lose their minerals and their vitamins. So fresh is great, and cutting up everything right before you're about to eat it is the way to go as well. Okay, when I'm checking my corn, I just kind of take a little, I want this to still have that pop, that really crisp pop. So I just kind of take my knife and see that it pops. And it pops a little bit. I'm going to let this cook for just a couple, and probably another minute or so. But really, when you have this super fresh corn, you can cook it for really like 3, 4, 5 minutes, depending on how big the kernels are. My kernels are kind of big right now, but some of them that you're going to get, they'll be little tiny. I actually was writing an article about corn a couple years ago, and a farmer wrote me back or emailed me, I don't remember the mode of communication, and said, Tracy, I loved your article because I told people don't overcook your corn. Like, everybody cooks their corn forever, and you really don't need to. You can cook it really, really quickly, and it tastes much better. And he said, I'm glad you wrote that article, because everybody overcooks their corn, then it gets stuck in your teeth and it's all mushy. And he said, I sometimes, when I'm out at the farm, I check the corn, and he just pulls the husk off and eats it right there raw, right off of where it's growing. So just know that it's true. You don't have to cook your corn that long. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this hot corn into a bath of cold water. It's called blanching, and you do it with your veggies if you want to cool them off very quickly, and if you want them to maintain their beautiful color. So a lot of times when you are like putting veggies on a veggie platter, you have broccoli or something like that, and you want it to be nice and green, you'll blanch it. You put it in boiling water, you boil it, and then you put it in ice cold water, and that's called blanching, and it's a great way just to maintain the color of your veggies and kind of keep them looking really pretty. And this is going to be a cold salad, so if you're heading out on a picnic or something like that, then you can take this with you. Now we're going to make a super easy salad dressing, and I'm going to do it right in the bowl. Let's see here. Our salad dressing is going to be a creamy one because we have a kind of a fatty cut of meat, so we're going to cut it a little bit with a cream. And whenever I make salad dressings that are creamy based, I do a mixture of mayonnaise and sour cream. If you just do mayonnaise, you kind of get a strong mayonnaise flavor, but if you mix some of that sour cream in there, equal parts, it's what we call cutting the flavor of the mayonnaise. So I'm just going to do equal parts, about a tablespoon of each. You're going to do 2 tablespoons because you're doubling up your recipe. So I have a tablespoon of mayonnaise, and then a tablespoon of sour cream. And really, I can put sour cream on anything. It's one of my favorites. So we have those, and we're also going to add a little bit of olive oil as well, just about a tablespoon of olive oil, because we just want a little more juice to it. And of course, salt and pepper. We'll add that. And then we want something acidic. So we're going to add some fresh lime juice to that. And whenever you're making a salad dressing, you typically want something nice and acidic in there because that's going to, once again, cut the harsh flavors of the creamy dressing that we have. So I'm going to squeeze the whole entire lime. And this is actually a good juicy lime. I broke my lime juicer. I think I overused it, but if you have one of those tools, those are the best. And another hint is if you put the lime or the lemon in the microwave, that gives you so much juice. Sometimes when I'm grilling, if I'm grilling fish and I want to put lemon on the side or something like that, I'll just cut the lemon in half and put it on the grill, and you squeeze it in a second and it has so much juice. Okay, so there we have our kind of our creamy dressing. And this is going to be just nice and fresh. Stir that around so it gets all combined. Give it a little taste too, because don't forget, when you're working with fresh veggies and fresh fruits like lime, you might be like, oh my gosh, that lime is so sour, I need to add a little bit of sweetness like honey or a little tiny bit of sugar or something like that. So give it a taste. See if you need to add anything. I'm going to taste it on the zucchini actually. So I'm going to give it a little taste. I think it tastes pretty good. It tastes a lot like olive oil, so I might want to put a little more lime juice if I can squeeze a little more in there. And again, when you're working with fresh fruits and vegetables, you always have to taste them. And I'm going to put a tad bit more sour cream in there just to kind of lighten it up a little because that olive oil is strong. When you're working with olive oil, of course, it's super healthy for you, but it's also pretty strong in flavor. So if you don't like the taste of olive oil and you want something different, then use a vegetable oil or a grapeseed oil or something that has a lighter flavor, a sunflower oil or something like that. All right, now I'm just going to put my zucchini and my onions right in there. And of course, sometimes the taste's mellow after you put your fruits and veggies into the salad dressing. Sometimes I'll taste something all by itself and I'll be like, oh, puckered up, that's like way too strong or something like that. But actually when you get to eating it, it's not at all because it combines nicely with the flavors.
Good morning, Vail.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
When people think of world-class destinations, they're drawn to a place that provides opportunities for fine dining, shopping, superior lodging, exciting events, and unparalleled outdoor activities. Park City, Utah, and Vail, Colorado are renowned destinations for travelers and extraordinary homes for residents. Feature your exceptional products and services in these two luxury communities. Advertise with Park City Television and TV8 Vail. Contact us today.
Do you love the outdoor lifestyle? Make sure you tune in every day at 8 p.m. to catch Scoreboard Nation. It's an outdoor lifestyle show dedicated to your three favorite mountain towns, Vail, Beaver Creek, Park City, and Reno, Tahoe. Join us for an incredible venture. Find us on TV8 Vail, Park City Television, or at thescoreboardnation.com. We can't wait to see you there.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Happy Tuesday. It's February 20th, and it is a favorite day of mine because Rosaline Hart is here in the studio with me. I'm Kimberly Pro, and thanks for joining us. In this second hour, we've got the executive director of the Villar joining us, plus the founder of Drinking Vessels. They have an exciting event happening. And then, as always, colorful cooking with Tracy. She's giving us all of the tips and tricks on a fantastic crockpot recipe. All of that and much more. So hour 2 starts right now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. Coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Welcome into the TV8 Weather Center on this wonderful Tuesday, starting out at 33 degrees at 8 a.m. with a high of 45 degrees today and a 40% chance of snow. Overcast skies throughout the day today. Winds coming from the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Into the hourly temperatures, things start heating up a little bit around noon at 41 degrees with some snow showers expected up high. And at 8 p.m. temperatures will start coming back down to about 36 degrees with some few showers into this evening. Into the I-70 corridor, Eagle, a high of 48 degrees today. Avon, a high of 47, and Vail, a high of 45. Denver, a high of 65 degrees today. It's hard to believe it's February right now with these high temperatures. Overcast skies throughout the high country today and a chance of some precipitation across I-70. Tonight, a low of 27, 30% chance of snow, mostly cloudy skies. Sunset's getting later and later right now. Tonight will be 5:48 p.m. Some slight winds coming in from the south. Tonight, nothing too crazy. Looking into the rest of the week and the weekend, brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports. More snow expected on Wednesday and Thursday before sunny skies return Friday and Saturday for the weekend. Some warm temperatures in the coming days and some lows in the teens, so be prepared for a little bit of everything out there. Into the snow report. No new snow in the last day at Beaver Creek, but 1 inch in the last 48 hours, bringing the season total to 187 inches and the base to 62 inches. Beaver Creek operating 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. right now with 25 lifts open, 162 trails, and finally 98% of terrain open up at the Beav. At Vail, 1 inch in the last 2 days, bringing the season total to 202 inches and a base of 62 inches. And you know we're all about that base here. Vail operating 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. right now with 31 lifts open, 277 trails, and that's about 99% of the terrain open at Vail. So we're gonna have some snow coming, Kim, and then some sun, and then probably some more snow. So
some snow, some more sun. At least the snow is pretty soft, you know, with the melting. At least it was on Saturday and those gorgeous bluebird days. So.
Yeah, I was out there yesterday and it was pretty warm, but
Yeah.
there was still some soft snow out there,
Yeah,
so it was a good day.
You know, it's not completely icy yet.
And when we're out there, we gotta protect our eyes, right?
We do, and you know, today is definitely going to be a low light lens day, and loving these pink anons, as you can see.
Love it.
The low light lens is on it, but it's got a really easy magnetic interface change, so you can just kind of pop them out. But my favorite part about these is the magnetic face mask integration.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's so funny, just like snap it on and off. And I know I'm one of those people where when I'm snowboarding, I don't like to have my mouth covered, you know, so I cannot stand using a face buff unless I absolutely need it. So this is probably the ideal goggle for me, even though I've been talking about how much I love Smiths.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm the guy that's always fighting kind of my nose, trying to get my nose covered, and then I kind of pull my goggles up and then I get air under my goggles. And so having just a magnet right there is pretty awesome.
So easy, you just pop it right off, even when you're wearing them, right?
And it matches the color.
It does. And then, you know, it's also great is that it's got all this air ventilation system, so that kind of helps with like preventing the fogging and all of that fun stuff. But it also comes with a fancy Bluebird Day goggle or a goggle lens, which I love. I love the color of it. You know? Part of like the swag is part of the whole sport,
100%.
right? Just as much as being able to see well also.
Look good, feel good, ski good.
We love that phrase, that saying here, for sure. But magnetic face integration technology, which is just really great. I know they were a pioneer in this, so really fun to kind of see it in action. You just pull it right off right there.
Yeah, a little pro tip, never pull ice off the top part there. You'll rip the foam off and ruin the goggles. So
That's good
pro
tip
on those
there.
powder days, just leave those goggles alone. Don't rip any ice off.
It's true. Yeah, the less you fuss with your goggles during like the days that you're out riding, the better.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you don't want to scratch them. You don't want to remove any of that inner like coating that's on the inside of the lens. Just let it be. If you can't see perfectly, that's okay, but just be safe.
That's it. And some days you can't see, so no matter what you got, it's hard to see. But definitely check out Eyepieces of Vail. They got everything you need, kind of from the neck up there. Locations all over the valley, and stay tuned for more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
Hi, it's Max at TVA Vail. We want to invite you all to the Wacky Winter Reading Program. It's open to all ages. All you have to do is read 10 books or 1,000 pages. For more information, go on our website, tvavail.com. And thank you to our sponsor, the Eagle Valley Library District.
Think Big features top kid inventors who face off against each other to see who can come up with the most innovative and creative invention. In Think Big, kids acquire and showcase their skills in creativity, science, marketing, design, and don't forget, teamwork. Check your local listings and watch the world's most innovative kids. They create and invent new toys, games, websites, and new modes of transportation. Tune in to Think Big.
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interests across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Pleshaw, host of TV8 Vail. From fashion to food, from film to festivals, experience a unique look at the boutiques, spas, restaurants, and venues that make the Valley so special. Join me for Glitz and Glam. Find it in Good Morning Vail or at our website at tv8vail.com. I can't wait for our next adventure.
Dog Tales is America's premier dog lovers magazine show. This series is all about dogs and the people who love them. Featuring dogs of all sizes, shapes, and breeds, keeping you up to date with all the latest news from the dog world. Sit back and enjoy a fun program for the whole family. Check your local listings and tune in to Dog Tales. TV8, there's more for you on 92. Serving the local community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Let's check back in with Tracy Miller on that crockpot recipe.
All right, here's a fun thing to do. We are going to take the corn off the cob. Now this is always nice to have a flat surface for this too. Ooh, yeah, that corn is looking really good and very fresh. We're just going to do this. Some people say they like to put their corn like in a bundt cake container where you can like stick the corn cob in there and then the corn just falls into the bundt cake. That's high maintenance for me, but if you're a newbie at getting the corn off the cob, that might be something you'd like to do. But this is pretty easy actually, and if you've ever had a kid or yourself with braces, you've done this before. All right, look at how nice and easy that comes off. Sharp knives are a key in the kitchen, which of course you should know that by now. Blanching is always really nice to do when you're working with fresh fruits and vegetables if you want to cook them and then keep them cold after. Alrighty, so now we have our corn. I'm just going to put that right there and break it up a little. Zucchini and corn salad. And I'm actually going to add a Roma tomato to this as well so I can give it a nice shot of color. And tomatoes, all this stuff is just super delicious and fresh right now. So the Romas are actually really good. Romas are nice because they're kind of hardy and they can last, you know, you can find them throughout the year. Oh, now I have corn all over me. The corn does go flying. Okay, so we're going to cut the Roma again, just like we cut it. We cut the zucchini. I'm going to give it some stripes with a nice sharp knife, and then I'm going to make it really small so they're all kind of the same size. A serrated knife is really nice to use if you're cutting tomatoes as well. If your knife isn't super duper sharp, it kind of makes it a little bit easier. If the kids are helping you or something, you want to give them a serrated knife. Make it a little less dangerous for them. Okay, so we have a super simple fresh salad. Keep it simple in the summertime because fruits and veggies are so good. You don't want to muck them up with too much stuff. So here we go, a nice creamy salad right there. Give it a taste, see if it needs a little more salt and pepper. Add some lettuce if you'd like to. And there we have it. I'm going to give it another shot of salt and pepper. And that's about it. Then you just like let it cool down. It'll be nice and tasty and colorful. And it has that creamy texture, which I think you're going to like with the beef tri-tip. Okay, let's move over to here where we have our crock pot. I have my crock pot going, and I actually cooked this overnight, which is kind of what I like to do. Now I'm going to show you the end result of that 5-pound beef tri-tip. Look at this. It's all nice and cooked, and it's really juicy. Do you see how much juice is in there? All I did was I put the tri-tip, I cut it in half, and I put it right in the crock pot. I didn't add any water. I didn't add any broth. And I think that one of the big mistakes that people make when they're cooking with their crock pot is they always want to add a little liquid. So if you have a fatty piece of meat like this, or maybe a pork that has some fat on it, or really even chicken, I don't add any liquid to my crock pot, because what happens is your crock pot is a slow cooker. If you don't have a crock pot, you can put your tri-tip in a pan, in a baking pan, and then cover it with a piece of saran wrap and then a piece of aluminum foil, tighten it all the way around, and cook it in your oven at about 285 for 8 to 10 hours. And that's what I did on this one. I did it on slow for 10 hours. I did it overnight, and then it was ready and it was cooked to perfection. And it's juicy enough that I don't need to add any more juices. So what happens, one of the big problems that people do with their crock pots is they put a meat in there and then they put a whole bunch of broth in there. So what happens is you're kind of just boiling your meat. You're not going to get any kind of sear. You're not going to get that slow cook. You're just going to get boiled meat. So be very careful when you're adding liquid to your crock pot. I really think it's completely unnecessary. And when I do chicken in here too, even if I do a chicken breast, I'll usually put a couple onions or carrots at the bottom, and then I'll put the chicken breast on top that's seasoned, and then I'll just close it down and cook it for like 4 hours or something. And it gets juicy enough because the natural juices from the chicken and from the veggies are going to start to secrete, and that's going to give it a lot of flavor, and that's going to make it so that there's enough liquid on the bottom that you're not going to wake up to like a burnt crock pot, but you're going to have some great flavor. So let's see what this looks like. We'll move the salad over here. I cut this in half just to fit into my crock pot. It was well seasoned already, so we kind of got like a little easy one on this with this beef tri-tip. Okay, and here we go. Definitely a little oily, which is why I wanted to do like a creamy sauce. And now let's see. I'm just gonna slice it. And it's gonna shred. It's gonna shred a little too, so you could shred the whole thing if you wanted to with 2 forks. But there you go. So you have some nice meat right there. Look at how nice that is, and look at how tender it's cooked. So that can last a while. And there's a lot of recipes you could do with this. You know, you could make some tacos out of it if you wanted to. You could just put it on your cold salad if you wanted to. Lots of different recipes. I'm going to say it's more of a high-fat meat, so you're going to want something pretty healthy on the side. But, you know, that's just what I say. So let's plate this up and make it look really nice. Let me get this out of the way. Here's our plate. Let's get a little bit of meat here, and then some salad. More salad than meat, right? Everybody knows that you're supposed to have like 3/4 of your plate, or actually half of your plate filled up with veggies, 1/4 of it with a meat, and then 1/4 of it with a starch if you're doing that. But here we go. We have the tri-tip, and it's going to be served with this creamy salad, a corn salad. So you have a lot of fresh veggies, and then you have a little meat. So if you're looking to do a little barbecue, this is going to be perfect. And using the crock pot in the summertime is really nice because you get your meat, but yet you don't have to heat up your whole entire kitchen. So I really encourage people to use a crock pot in the summertime just for that reason, because nobody wants to turn on the oven in the summer, and the crock pot just sits there. It warms up just its little spot, and it doesn't get your whole house warm. So that's the beef tri-tip with the corn and zucchini salad. Once again, thank you for paying attention. I hope you really enjoy it, and let me know if you have any questions. And if you do, you can email me at tracy@colorfulcooking.com.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome aboard! Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Hi, I'm Ben Belgrad, and I'm the owner of Drinking Vessels here at Bat Country Studios in Minturn. And I've been in the Valley for 7 years. I moved to the Valley because a friend helped me to get my vision off the ground, building my glass studio here, and being so close to snowboarding. So here at the studio, we're acting as a broker for 50 to 100 artists from around the country. We also offer glassblowing classes, and we bring many artists from around the country here to be able to work and create art collaboratively and be so close to skiing and all the activities we have here in the Valley. Here at Drinking Vessels, we specialize in handmade glass drinkware from artists around the country and around the world. Some of these are produced as more of an item you could get in sets and kind of get different color options as time goes on. And some of these are completely one of a kind and really high-end art that's unlike anything people have seen before. While I'm an artist myself here at the studio, I'm representing between 50 and 100 other artists from around the country. And most of these artists are able to spend most of their time working on their art while we help handle their marketing and their sales and the distribution and representation, allowing them more time to focus on their art. That's really my privilege in running this business, is creating that support and providing that platform for this big group of artists that are part of a movement that's very important to me.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, real homeowners tackle really big renos.
Welcome to the ugliest house in the neighborhood.
It's a wild ride from before to after.
If we go to the tile store one more time, only one of us is coming out alive.
Well, I didn't know he was going to do all that.
Between the budget and the timeline, it's makeover madness.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. One of the gems of our valley is the Villard Performing Arts Center up in Beaver Creek. And joining us this morning on the couch, a special friend, the Executive Director, Cameron Scott Morgan. Cameron.
Rod!
How we doing?
I'm doing well, bud. How are you?
Long time no see.
I know. It's good to hang out with you this morning.
Yeah. So the VPAC, man, how's it been going up there this winter?
Hey, we're having a phenomenal season so far. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I really am. We're just about, I don't know, we've just crossed the halfway mark in our winter season. We're still about 20 shows ahead of us between now and closing day of Beaver Creek Mountain, which will be, our last show as well for the winter season. And the audiences have been fantastic. The artists have been incredible. It's a dream come true up there.
Yeah, and the variety up there is what's kind of special about that, right? So we love seeing all the variety. What's kind of been your favorite show this year so far?
Oh, when you say the variety and then you ask me to pick a favorite, Ross, it's like, well, we had an incredible comedy magic show this past week. Some illusionists from South Korea. Like it was really, really cool. Classic comedy, a lot of magic involved there.
Cool.
Like that real vaudeville feel style. We had Lee Bryce.
Cool.
Back beginning of February, and I grew up on country music, and it felt like we were in like his living room with him. He was just jamming out. Like that was amazing. Gosh, I mean, it's just like it's hard to pick. Every night's a new favorite.
And Stomp was just in town. How were those shows?
So this is the first time I've gotten to see Stomp.
Cool.
Like I've wanted to see Stomp like every time I've gone to New York. They just closed in New York. Like, oh no. Oh my goodness.
So cool.
It was amazing. Like I watched both Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. Mind blowing.
So now whenever you're like walking around town and you see a trash can, are you like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba?
You know what? They had this section in there where they're standing on oil drums and they're strapped into ski boots.
Oh geez.
I was like, I feel like we could make that happen around here.
Oh man, one of the best parts, one of my favorite things about the Villar Center, right, is it's right in the heart of Beaver Creek. And Beaver Creek's such an awesome place. You go out for a day of skiing and snowboarding, you get a nice dinner, and then you end it with a show, a world-class show in a 535-seat venue. Just a beautiful location. What's kind of been going on with the venue this year, and anything new going on?
Yeah. So last year, folks might remember we got a brand new sound system, big L Acoustics Cara sound system. It's state of the art, amazing, incredible.
Can we shout out Cheyenne real quick?
Oh my gosh, Cheyenne, our technical director. He's one of the most brilliant people.
Insane.
Like, it's really incredible. Phenomenal job. So we got a new sound system about a year and a half ago now, a little bit over that. This past fall, we replaced the theater's acoustic banners because now the sound system's so good, you gotta make sure every other element really matches that. And it's been an incredible upgrade, both acoustically, like sonically, as well as visually. It really pulls the room together so beautifully. We've had some incredible a cappella groups, classical music in there that it feels so incredible. You know, I get to talk to the artists before the show, after the show, and even just this past weekend, when I was talking to the artist from Stomp, I said, you know, how does this room feel? Like, what was it like for you? And you know, they're not up there just on an acoustic guitar, but they're physical musicians. They're like, it was so wonderful. It's a beautiful space. It feels incredible to get to perform on the stage, and I think that experience translates for the artists that we bring in, as well as the audiences that attend.
I think that's just a common thread across everyone that comes through that venue. They personally love it, and that's why they keep coming back, right?
That's right. And we've got some incredible artists up ahead this winter season. Some that are really going to take full use of that sound system, including this Friday, February 23rd, Grace Potter.
Awesome.
One of the most incredible voices in rock and roll. I mean, she's going to bring the house down.
Yeah, and she's performed in the Valley before, so definitely want to check that show out. Going back to the speakers, I remember hearing that they're set up so every seat gets the same experience. Whether you're in the front row or the top row, you get the same sound experience, right? So that's kind of cool.
That's right. Yeah, I was just talking to Cheyenne over the weekend, and he said the goal for the new sound system, the new PA, was that every seat would have the same or fall within a 3 decibel range, right? So the very front seat in the front of the orchestra to the very back row of the balcony, which is only 80 feet from the front of the stage. It's really, really intimate.
Right.
But they would fall within 3 decibels. And they exceeded that goal. The range is only 1.5 decibels.
Amazing.
Like, it's that same experience.
Amazing. I know you're doing a great job kind of leading it as the executive director now, but the staff that you have up there from top to bottom is just world class, and that's what makes the venue run so smoothly, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about we've got 20 shows ahead of us for the winter season. We've already looking at quite a few shows for this summer coming up. Next winter, all the way into spring of 2026, we're looking out. And the team, my team is amazing at working on so many different timelines, right? They've got the show this Friday, they've got 3 shows. Next week, they've got the rest of the season, and they're like planning, and everything is executed so wonderfully.
Right. And what another really awesome part about the VPAC is how affordable it is, right? You get this kind of like world-class experience. We're looking at the calendar now. Grace Potter, comedian Nick Swartzen, all these. Where's the puppy one, right? What's the puppy one?
Puppy Pals Live, in April. It's scrolling. We're almost there. One more.
Look at that
there it is.
packed schedule. Yeah, there's the Puppy Pals Live. Some
wonderful family, wholesome, fun entertainment. We get all the way, I mean, you see their neighbor, right? $25 general admission. It'd be a wonderful night for folks who enjoy that jam feel, come together and celebrate what will be the end of a wonderful winter season here in the mountains.
Another good one, right? And we saw some star shows in there, right? Supporting the arts, reaching students.
That's right.
Another just amazing thing that you guys do up there, getting some local kids to see world-class entertainment and get some culture kind of in their lives. So that's awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. We get about 8,000 Eagle County elementary and middle school students through the doors to enjoy some wonderful live performance.
Yeah. So love the VPAC. Also love you, Cameron. What's it like being the executive director? You come from this awesome kind of diverse background in the arts, and what's it been like for you to kind of lead that venue?
You know, it's been so fun, and it's been such an honor and a privilege to be trusted to really step into that role, and it's just been a dream come true. Like, I have a wonderful team, a wonderful support structure, wonderful support both from my team, from the Vail Valley Foundation and my coworkers and colleagues, as well as the broader community. It's really incredible to kind of be wandering around Beaver Creek or in Vail, up Valley, down Valley, and folks here that I'm involved with the VPAC, they're so, like, I don't know, it's just so warm and welcoming and incredible.
Yeah, it's one of those, if you know about the VPAC, you go quite a bit, and then if you don't know, the first time you get in there, you're kind of hooked on it, right?
Oh, absolutely. I always say we just got to get a new audience member in the door once, and they're hooked.
And then Cameron, you're the one up on stage introducing the bands and stuff. So if you're there and they introduce Cameron, be sure to give him a loud ovation and welcome Cameron.
Absolutely. I'll be on stage at the beginning of the show. I'll see you on the way out at the doors after the show. Be sure to stop by and say hello.
What's kind of like the biggest thing you've learned through this process so far?
Biggest thing I've learned? You know, it kind of goes back to that operating on so many different timelines, because we're constantly we've got 50 shows every winter, up to 20 shows in the summer, and lots of things throughout. So really balancing and prioritizing things, making sure that stuff you follow through on, you check in on somebody, follow up on an email, like all those kind of small things that kind of collectively build up to be big things.
Yeah, you say prioritizing, and in the middle of all this chaos, you have a wedding being planned, I think, as well,
That's right,
and a
that's
lot
right.
going on in the other half of your life. So just kudos to you for getting all that done.
Oh, thank you. That's, like I said, it's all about the support structure that really keeps me going.
Love that. Cam, anything I should have asked you, man? Anything else people should know about the VPAC or the rest of the winter?
Well, it's what is it? It's Tuesday. It's 8:30, and we just announced 2 shows for our summer season.
Sweet.
So we've got, like I said, about 20 shows coming up for this rest of this winter season. 2 incredible bands, groups that are coming in this summer. We just announced. We've got Straight No Chaser, a male a cappella group, coming July 19th, and we've got Eli Young Band, September 21st. And quick story. So we just had Lee Bryce beginning of February. He sang Eli Young Band's Crazy Girl, because he wrote it for them.
Cool.
And he said on stage during the show, hey, if you ever see Eli and the group, tell him I say hello. And at this point, we hadn't confirmed Eli Young Band yet, but I knew we were talking. I was like, please let it happen, because I want to tell them that Lee Bryce told me to tell them that he said hello, and I'm going to get to
You're
do it
gonna
later this
get
summer.
that chance. That's awesome. So kind of extending that season too. That's cool to see.
Absolutely.
A lot going on up at that Valora Performing Arts Center. Beautiful, really a gem of our valley. Cam, thanks so much for joining us this morning, man, and good to see you.
Thanks, Ross.
Stay tuned for more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
TV8 te brinda la mejor programación en español todos los días. Sintoniza Conexión Latina los lunes, miércoles y viernes a las 7 de la tarde con repeticiones los fines de semana. Además, te presentamos nuestro nuevo programa Sabores y Creaciones, donde hemos juntado tus recetas y manualidades favoritas en un solo lugar los martes y jueves a las 7 de la tarde. Y por último, disfruta de Daily Flash Latino, con noticias y entretenimiento en tendencia los sábados a las 7 de la tarde. Te esperamos por el canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página de Facebook TV8 Conexión Latina, nuestro canal de YouTube TV8 Vail Good Morning Vail o nuestra página web tv8vail.com.
Hello everyone, I'm Raisa Melissa Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. Have any personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do.
So even though you work for some good deals, too good to miss on Flash Deals. Now check this out.
Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
Suki and Scott show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
I'm Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
When you're in Vail, you're in vacation mode, and you need a flexible home tour experience that fits into your schedule. We've transformed how you view and buy homes in the Vail Valley. With immersive, cutting-edge technology, you can explore properties 10 times faster. In our lounge, we guide you through this digital world on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the immersion theater.
Good morning, Vail.
It's Kimberly here with the Weather Center. So let's take a look at today's forecast. As you can see, it's a high of 45. So we're getting those spring-like temps. Even though it's a bit overcast, we do have a 40% chance of precipitation. It's about 33 degrees this morning. And then the winds are coming from the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we look at that hourly forecast, you can see we are looking at some snow showers at noon. So about 41 for the temps there, and then 40 degrees and cloudy throughout the afternoon. A few showers happening with about 36 degrees at 8 o'clock tonight. Looking at the I-70 corridor. Now this is where it gets confusing. Denver doesn't know if it's summertime or springtime or winter. It's 65 with some cloud coverage in Denver, and then it drops drastically as you make your way towards the west here in the I-70 corridor. Vail is 45 degrees for the high today. Avon 47, and then Eagle, always the warmer of the three, with a high of 48 degrees and a 20% chance of precipitation. So it'll be an interesting day in regard to weather today. Snow, 30% chance of snow with a low of 27 degrees. And we will see mostly cloud coverage throughout the day today. But as Ross said earlier, that sunset is coming later and later. So we are moving our way towards the spring. Winds coming from the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then this is what we want to see. I'm loving the idea of some precipitation on Wednesday, but would prefer if it was not that rain and snow mixture that we're calling for. We have a 50% chance of that with a high of 43 degrees, low of 22. Thursday, just about the same in regard to percentages. 50% chance of snow showers with a high of 37 and then 15 for the low. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we've got that sunshine that we know and love here in the Valley. High of 39 on Friday, low of 14. Saturday, we've got mostly sunny with 46 for the high, and then it gets warmer for the weekend and 24 for the low, and then just about the same on Sunday. So interesting weather that we're looking at. Hard to believe that it is only February 20th because these are definitely springtime temps that we're seeing. But speaking of Vail vibes, Avisha is out and about in the community showing us all of the great things that are happening. So let's take a look at what she has to show us.
Come on!
Hi friends, welcome to Vail Vibes. Avisha Scarborough here. Now if you've spent any time in Vail, you know that we have a vibrant art community here. And the latest addition to that community is a brand new contemporary art gallery with a long family legacy.
When Courtney Olson stepped into the role of curator and gallery director at Relevant Galleries, she was following in her family's footsteps.
My great uncle, Paul Zucker,
He moved out from North Dakota to Denver very early on in his career, and he fell into the art world. He loved the art world. He, in his home, he has Moreaus and Picassos and just great, incredible artists. And he is a key collector in Denver in the art scene. And so when he started the gallery business, one of their next openings was actually in Aspen. And so my parents both got involved in that. And then you don't realize when you're sitting at the dinner table how much you pick up when you're little about the art world. And so I just joined 3 years ago. So we're a 3-generation family firm.
Their parent company, AD Galleries, has 11 established galleries throughout the Southwest. Courtney says she got to discover and choose a variety of emerging artists for this location.
That's the fun part. That's the fun part. We are always looking for artists. We probably get about 1,000 artist submissions every single year. And so typically in the springtime, we'll sit down, our executive team and each of our directors at all of our galleries will say, hey, this is what our clientele is wanting, this is what they're needing. And so we'll go through artist submissions, we'll go out to fun artist shows and figure out, who's selling and what are people wanting in the area. Especially big name artists, you want to get attached to those, but then also it's supporting the local artists, it's supporting the emerging artists. Like we just brought in an artist that's right behind me. His name is Jeffrey Gersten. He is definitely, I would say, more of an emerging artist, but incredible oil painter. I mean, his pieces look like photographs. And he is out of Arizona. And so it's that fine balance of showing both sides. So this gallery it's a show gallery. It's meant to show kind of the best work out of, I think we have 6 different artists in here right now. And so really going through and finding those pieces that are that wow factor that people stop and you're like, I want this in my house. Pretty much every single artist we do have in here is extremely contemporary. We have everything from wall sculptures to abstract paintings to one of the top Native American artists that is more that contemporary oil painter in the front. And so it does have a really unique mix where someone could easily choose one from each artist and have their whole home done.
Their sister galleries, Gibb Singleton in Vail and Relevance Denver location, are known for representing the very popular David Yarrow.
He has just very interesting background from going from North American wildlife and South American wildlife into these new storytelling scenes that are very cinematically driven. It's like a little movie set inside of a photograph. We had some clients that actually got to go up to one of his shoots up above Leadville, and he did a Leadville shoot up there, which was pretty incredible. And it was that Southwestern, but it was like Cara Delevingne and a pair of skis walking outside of the saloon, and it's so creative. And I think that's a big part of his work and who he is, but also when you hear him speak, you're like, this man is a genius.
And if you want to meet David Yarrow, Russell Young, or any of the other artists, keep an eye on the Relevant Galleries website for upcoming events.
We're looking forward to doing a lot of incredible events. We have almost every single one of the artists that we have represented in here. We're going to be doing a show with them. We're going to be flying them in for a weekend, doing a show, having live music, bartender, all the fun things that you hope for a gallery show. But we'll be having, and it's really special to be able to meet the artist. And we're a very strong believer in you have to meet the artist to understand the art. When you meet the man behind the magic or the woman behind the magic, that's a whole different story.
Sounds incredible. We can't wait to dive deeper into the art and learn the stories of these talented artists. For TV8 in Vail, I'm Avisha Scarborough.
Good morning, Vail.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Good morning, Vail.
Now, our next guest needs no introduction. I've got the founder of Drinking Vessels in Country.
Country Studios.
I always get that mixed up. Bat Country Studios. Ben Belgrad joining me. How are you, Ben?
Good. Thank you so much for having me today.
Great to have you here. So we love having you on the show, and we do lots of features with what you do at Drinking Vessels, but it's such a cool concept. So tell me about Drinking Vessels and how you got started.
Absolutely. So I have a glass blowing studio in Minturn where we represent between 50 and 100 artists, primarily glass, but also ceramics and painters and all different kinds of mediums, specializing in drinkware, handmade drinkware. And so I got started when I was in college blowing glass and kind of evolved into this position of both being an artist and a curator.
That's so great. And it's just incredible what you do. And
thank you.
It's such an interesting medium to really develop and to curate, and they're beautiful works of art. So you have some really exciting things happening, and especially coming up this weekend.
Yes, we do. Yes, our 7th annual Vail Cup Collectors Club is on Saturday from noon to 10. Over at Bat Country Studios in Minturn, and we have artists coming in from around the country to create collaborations at my studio, as well as then on Sunday the 25th, we'll be going to Vail as a group to go ride and enjoy the mountain.
That sounds great, and especially for people that are coming in from all over the country. So 7th annual, tell me about the event. So it runs, it's a full day event. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, so it's all day at the studio. We have food from our friends down in Denver, Workbench. We have this drink sponsor, Yerba Star, which is like a yerba mate energy drink. We're going to have all kinds of exciting live performance art happening, from glass blowing to painting and other mediums. And it's just a cool way for collectors and artists and appreciators to all kind of commingle in an intimate space where everybody gets to have personal conversations and watch live glass art being made.
Well, that's true, and that's what I love about the Valley here, is that it's communal, and we really are very artistic. And so to be able to walk away with a piece of art like the glass that you've got here, and this is one of your personal works of art as well.
Yeah, so this is really a piece we made for the show.
Yeah.
This is a collaboration from a friend of mine, Yushin, who lives over in Evergreen. And I'll pour some of this Yerba Star to start my morning.
I'm thinking I probably need one of those as well after we're done with this conversation.
Yeah,
here.
This is one of my favorite drinks, and they sponsor most of our shows.
Well, I can smell it. It smells great. And so loving this glass. So this is a collaboration, and this is your signature design, essentially.
Yeah, so this has my signature composition notebook pattern in the middle. and then Yushin's reticellos, and you might be able to see on the bottom there, it's got another pattern underneath.
It's a stunning piece of work.
Thank you so much.
You know, I love collecting cups and things, so this is really great, and to have unique pieces. So you mentioned with the 7th annual, you've got over 100 artists, about 100 artists that you'll be featuring?
We're representing about 100 artists
Okay,
on our regular kind of programming,
Mhm.
and there are between 15 and 20 artists in the show for this weekend for the Vail Cup Collectors Club. And that's a rotating group of artists. We try to highlight different techniques and different kinds of, you know, types of drinkware in each show, but this show has an open theme, so people have made different kinds of submissions versus one thematic cup.
That's great. And so how do you connect with all of these artists all over the country and get them to display their work with you?
Yeah, so I've been building these relationships for over a decade since I started blowing glass. And for example, we just came back from Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago from a national trade show for glass artists. And so when I'm at those shows, I'm often you know, meeting these artists and offering them the opportunity to showcase and sell on our platform, which is kind of a unique space because we sell one-of-a-kind handmade drinkware, and we're one of the only marketplaces for kind of work of this caliber.
That's great. And so each piece is unique. There's not going to be an exact replica of each piece of glassware that you
Correct.
sell. So talk to me a little bit about the process, you know.
Sure.
And during the event as well, we get to actually witness these pieces being made. So can you
Yes.
explain a little bit about how it starts from inception to finish?
Yeah, so what we're doing is borosilicate flame working or scientific glass blowing, and we're applying that in an artistic application. So each of the colors that you see here in this cup are an individual piece of glass that we've, through a series of different patterns and techniques, incorporated into the final product. And so we're starting with like solid rods that are about the size of a number 2 pencil in diameter.
Wow.
And also like tubing of varying sizes and wall weights. And we're melting that material in a flame that's about 4,000 to 5,000 degrees. The molten glass is about 2,000 to 2,500 degrees. And then we're manipulating it with graphite tools, with our breath, with machines called lathes. And once the piece is made, we put it in a kiln or an oven where the piece can gradually cool down from that very hot temperature I described until it gets to room temperature the next day.
So you're telling me that this gorgeous piece of drinkware was made from a number 2 pencil, the size of a number 2 pencil, essentially.
Yeah, each of the individual colors and the stringers and then the lip wrap are all individual sticks of color.
That's amazing.
And at one point, this entire glass was molten liquid, and it was being spun to keep its form. And so Yushin spun this one in evergreen. I made some prep here at my studio, and we put it together. So that's kind of how these come to be.
That's great. And so the Vail Cup Collectors Club
You got it.
7th annual is
Yes.
Saturday from 12
Absolutely.
to 10. And so you can watch artists do this.
Yeah, I'm actually heading to Eagle Airport in a few minutes to pick up one of our guest artists from Austin, Texas. We have artists coming in from around the country to showcase their work and their skills because these are some of the most skilled artists in the world.
It's impressive and it's so beautiful. So the event, you have to buy tickets. You can't
Yes.
just show up. So talk to me about the specifics and the details around that.
Yeah, great. So tickets are available at drinkingvessels.com for $20 for our GA tickets. That would be through the afternoon. And then we have VIP tickets for people who want to have first selection of the work that's being offered, and also like a gift package from our sponsors. And then for everybody on Sunday, anybody who has skis or a ski pass can come join us at Vail. We'll go take kind of my route that I like to ride because I live here full time. And then we'll have lunch on the mountain and kind of give everybody, again, an intimate experience to get to know these artists and these collectors and these art appreciators.
That's incredible. Sounds like a blast.
Yeah,
you know,
thank you.
It really does. So in regard to glass blowing, you know, this is a very interesting, if you're curious about it, it's great to come check out the event.
Yes.
And then also, if you wanted to get in and start to dabble on your own, tell me about that. Or is there an option to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Recently, over the last maybe 6 months, we've started offering classes at the studio, and this is for all skill levels, beginners who have never touched hot glass in their lives. You can expect to make a marble, a pendant, a paperweight, something kind of like a solid sculptural object that's small. And then after you make the piece with our instructors, it sits in the kiln. That takes about 8 hours. and then would be ready for pickup the next day. So you actually get to take home the piece that you make on your first try.
Oh, that's great. I love that idea, making a marble. So you can make a whole set if you wanted to.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
want to just practice and get used to working with the materials. Now, in regard to the first selection and the VIP tickets, so these pieces will be made on Saturday, and then you'll have to come back and pick them up later. Is that right?
Sort of. So many of the pieces have already been submitted by the artists.
Got
So
it.
this is the one that Yushin and I are submitting for the show together.
Okay.
I have about 28 or 30 cups that are made, and then we're all going to be making more cups throughout the weekend and actually throughout the week. So there will probably be around 40 to 50 cups available for purchase.
Okay.
And a few of them will have to be picked up later, but most of them are ready for pickup the day of the show.
Ready to walk away with it and enjoy the piece of art.
Absolutely.
That's so great. And you can make your entire cup collection a beautiful curated art collection as well.
Yeah, it's nice to open your cabinet and see a bunch of different unique pieces instead of a bunch of mass-produced, repetitive objects.
It's so true. And this piece that you have is stunning. So very
Thank you.
exciting, and best of luck to you. Seventh year in the running. So that's a great event.
Yeah, we're really proud to have been able to do this so many times, and we're excited to have many of you over on Saturday.
Absolutely. Ben, tell us one more time, where can we go for tickets?
Yeah, tickets are available at drinkingvessels.com. There's a link on the homepage that'll take you right to them for the Vail Cup Collectors Club.
Awesome. The Vail Cup Collectors Club on Saturday. It's going to be an incredible event. You get to experience and interact with such really amazing and unique artists and see the work that they do. So head over to drinkingvessels.com to buy your tickets and hang out with Ben. Sounds like a blast.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Now we'll be back with the end of our show here shortly.
Good morning, Vail.
Spooky and Scott Show, we are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
I'm Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
More than ever, kids need information to help them better understand their surroundings and to better protect themselves. Each week, this program works with the various law enforcement agencies across the country and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, spotlighting several missing cases, hoping someone, like you, might have information that will lead to finding these individuals.
Join us in exploring the everyday lives of community members here in the Vail Valley. Hear their inspiring stories of how they came here, their contributions to our community, and why they chose to call this place home. We want you to be one of our neighbors. If you would like to be featured or nominate someone to be featured, please send an email to danielle@tv8vail.com. We look forward to featuring your story right here on TV8.
Do you love the outdoor lifestyle? Make sure you tune in every day at 8 p.m. to catch Scoreboard Nation. It's an outdoor lifestyle show dedicated to your 3 favorite mountain towns, Vail Beaver Creek, Park City, and Reno Tahoe. Join us for an incredible venture. Find us on TV8 Vail, Park City Television, or at thescoreboardnation.com. We can't wait to see you there.
Good morning,
a very fun and interesting Tuesday morning here, but let's take a look at the weather before we close the show. As you can see, high of 45 degrees, so we've got that springtime temps happening. We've got snow, a 40% chance of snow. So we are crossing our fingers because we are not ready for winter to be over. 33 degrees at 8 a.m. and then overcast all day long. Winds coming from the 5 to 10 miles per hour. But I tell you what, thank you so much to Cameron Morgan, the executive director of Vail, and then Ben Belgrad of Drinking Vessels. What a great show.
See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Are you looking for exciting and